What's up guys, I'm here in orbit on my hunter and today I'm going to show you my PvP loadout for my hunter. This is for both Trials of Osiris and like regular Crucible or Iron Banner or anything like that. I have all my weapons that I'm ever going to use in Crucible and my armor doesn't change too much, but I'm still going to cover that, and obviously the subclasses too. So we'll start off with my main loadout, what it would normally look like if I was doing Trials. This is what it would be. Now I know, it's Thorn. And the thing is, guys, when there's a weapon that's blatantly better than the rest, you've got to use it, or otherwise you're going to be at a disadvantage. So, don't be scared to use Thorn. Last word. Just because they're considered by like most people to be overpowered, doesn't mean you shouldn't use them. You definitely should. So this is my main Trials loadout. Obviously, I need to switch out my armor here. This would be more like what I would use. Now, I do currently have this helmet, and I'm going to go over the armor first. I feel like you always need melee attack speed and grenade throw distance, and usually the helm and the gauntlets are where you're going to get these two. I feel like for PvP you kind of need these most of the time, especially melee attack speed. Without that you're not going to win any melee fights, unless the guy's already one-shot. Try and focus on intellect and discipline. Strength isn't really a strong point for a hunter, because your grenades aren't that good. Minions of the Darkness doesn't even affect PvP, but I mainly use this just because it has intellect and discipline and melee attack speed. This, again, melee kill on Fallen doesn't even affect it, but again, because of my intellect and also the reload speed for my specials, I would prefer to have something like hand cannon like I think I have on this, but the problem is with this I have melee attack speed and strength, and I don't need that. And then obviously Alpha Lupi, you're resing people faster, you carry more ammo for, you know, both of your hand cannon and special. It's really good chest play, especially in like Trials where you're going to be reviving pretty much at least one person every round. Very good choice. And then heavy, boots. Pick anything with heavy ammo. Everything else doesn't really matter, it doesn't affect PvP at all, and I think all of my boots have extra heavy ammo, well except for the Iron Banner ones, but just pick out your heavy ammo boots and pick a good stat. Here I just went for an intellect and discipline split, and this gives me pretty high intellect and about halfway on my discipline and strength. It wouldn't like be any strength, but Alpha Lupi gives me all of the strength. So that is my Trials loadout. And then obviously if I'm going to play Crucible, regular Crucible, I'll switch out for this because it gives me hand cannon and shotgun. And I'll change my exotic over to Alpha, not Alpha Lupi, for Aclophage Symbiote. And if I'm sniping, I will change over to this, which is again intellect, discipline, hand cannon, sniper, very good there. And this is my main loadout. And of course here I have a ton of weapons. These are all of the weapons I will ever use in PvP. So I have here obviously the 3 exotic hand cannons, considered to be the best in the game right now. My favorite pulse rifle here is the Messenger. The thing I like about the Messenger is it offers you a lot of variation on what you can do. All of the sights are pretty good. I don't like this one as much, but these two I can use both, and all of these middle columns are viable. Extra reload, stability, or magazine size. All of it is viable. Red Death, obviously a strong choice if you're versing a lot of Thorns, but I feel like if you're versing a lot of people with Thorn, the best counter to it is the Thorn or a Last Word. Mida, just for that speed boost, it's always a fun gun to use. Vex is not where it used to be, but again, it's the closest you're going to get to an auto rifle right now. Moving on, I have the Summoner here. I barely ever use this in PvP, but it is a great auto rifle, and I feel like when the auto rifles get a buff and they go back to where they used to be, or even a little bit below where they used to be, the Summoner will be great. It will be comparable to the previous Suros, I believe it will. It's a really good auto rifle. Next, the only scout rifle here, well I guess there's Mida, but the only scout rifle I really use, because I don't really use Mida that often, is the Scholar, and this thing is actually really good. It's like a 2-shot headshot if you get reactive reload in there. It's really, really good, but I don't use it too often because it's not competitive when you're versing people with, you know, the hand cannons. And then this here is a really good pulse rifle. I have Scory's Revenge. I re-rolled it and got what I think is pretty perfect. Armor piercing just gives you a little bit more impact, but as you can see, comparing it to the impact it already has, it's quite a big difference. Headseeker means that when you get body shots, you're doing more damage to criticals. Very good on a gun like this where you're just spraying all over the place. And Outlaw, so after you've killed a guy, it should have been a precision hit, because obviously Headseeker giving you more damage. And then you reload and have a full magazine in like 0.2 seconds. It's great. Moving on to the specials. We have obviously a ton of shotguns, a ton of snipers, and I put a fusion rifle in here just because sometimes, not very often, but sometimes, and this is my go-to fusion rifle. So shotguns, obviously, Party Crasher, Fair Winter's Lie, and Invective. Don't use Invective very much anymore, but it's still a fun weapon to use in Crucible. Then move on to the snipers. Here I have Her Benevolence, always strong, give me a hidden hand. This is my revive sniper, so if anyone's getting revived and I can snipe them off it, this is the one I'd use. Regular Crucible, I feel like this is my favourite sniper. You can't kill anyone off a revive, but if you're playing something like Iron Banner or even just regular Control, this sniper is great for that, because you can still one-shot them in the head, two-shot body shot, and you don't need to worry about revives or anything. Next, we have my my final round spear. Barely ever use this, and when I do, I'm not using it to final round, I'm just using it because it's a strong sniper that does like 160 to a body shot. Next, I have my other spear. Haven't leveled yet. I'll probably re-roll this, try and get hidden hand. Haven't bothered with it yet, but it's a second spear. Spear's good. Same reason that I use this one. Queensbreaker, just for fun. It's always a fun weapon to use. Hard to use, but when you do get kills with it, you feel like you've really outplayed the other player. Proteus, everyone knows, it's a strong PvP weapon. And then again, back to my final rest. This is actually a really good fusion rifle, but fusion rifles just aren't great right now. And then on my heavies here, a mixture of both machine guns and rockets. So my 3 machine guns, I have 2 from the Dark Below and 1 from Vanilla Game. I have the Swarm Crowd Control, very good, 3-shot kill, any range. Again, same perks on my Yolda's Hammer, but this has a Field Scout, so 50-round magazine. And then again, a 50-round magazine on my Against All Odds. I wish this did have a crowd control, but it doesn't, and because it's from Dark Below, there is no way to reroll it. It kind of sucks. So they're my 3 MGs. Don't use them very much now, because rockets are kind of a lot better, and I have the god tier rockets. Every single one of these rockets has grenades and horseshoes. Obviously, Yalahorn giving you grenades and horseshoes with the Wolfpack round. So Yalahorn, Truth, the exotics, you can't go wrong with those. Dreamwaker. It's a strong choice. I don't have Javelin on this one. I wish I did. But haven't even bothered leveling it. It's got good perks, but it's just not up there. Radagast here, this is my main PvP one when I'm not doing trials. Mainly because Clown Cartridge can give you... Say you open a heavy ammo pack and you get 4 rockets. With Clown Cartridge, you can get up to 6, 7, 8 rockets if you're lucky. I usually would say you get about 5 rockets per heavy ammo pack, which is obviously better than getting the 4. Even if it's just 1 extra rocket, it can get you that extra kill or even a double if people are stacked up. And the reason I don't use this in trials is because I feel like Tripod is a little bit better when there's only 3 people on the other team. You don't need 5 rockets when there's only 3 players on the other team. So I feel like using this one's a lot better. Comparing the velocity, it's a little bit better, and it gives you Tripod as well. So you only need to reload that once. It also has Javelin on here, and it's still got pretty good velocity and blast radius, even though it doesn't have Warhead veneers like my Radagast does. Another rocket here, haven't bothered leveling it, still good perks, but it's just too low on the blast radius and velocity. Even though I do have Javelin here, it's too low. This is the Fear, it's still a good rocket. If that's all you have, again, like the Dreamwaker, if it's all you have, it's still good, but when you have better rockets, that you don't tend to use it very often. And then finally, I see a lot of people using this, the Tomorrow's Answer, Warhead veneers, Javelin, also having heavy payload if you wanted to max out that blast radius, Tripod, grenades and horseshoes. It's a very good rocket, but comparing it to my Tomorrow's Answer, comparing Tomorrow's Answer to my Ash Factory, the Ash Factory is just better in the blast radius and velocity, and they're the 2 stats that really matter here. Yeah, you have more magazine size with Tomorrow's Answer, but that doesn't matter because there's Tripod. More reload doesn't matter, there's Tripod. Fire rate, maybe, but I don't think it matters that much. It's a tiny little bit, and stability doesn't mean anything. So this is the trials loadout here, obviously, switching out the armor here for that and that. Now, I do sometimes... Well, not sometimes, but I do want to switch over to this. This is the old Iron Banner, as you can see here from Dark Below, old Iron Banner helmet, and I bought the new Iron Banner helmet, and as you see, if we compare them, they are the exact same stats. Obviously, the intellect and discipline is a little bit lower on this one, but when I ascend it, they should match perfectly. And then the only difference would be the look, and it's up to you guys what you think looks better. The one I'm wearing right now, and I'm going to switch over if you keep a look on my helmet, or this one. I think this one looks better. And I'm just trying to level this one up because they have the exact same stats, exact same perks, but it's just overlook. And obviously here, the makeshift scarf, the best item, best class item in the game there. So that's a 10-minute video on my setup here. I quickly go over subclasses. Again, Incendiary, pretty basic. I absolutely hate every other grenade. Anyone that uses trip mines is the devil. Triple jump, combustion, mainly just in case. There's nothing else in this column that's really that good. Gunfighter doesn't help you that much. Incendiary, again, nothing else in this circle is that good. Then I've gone for a higher armor stat in comparison to anything else. Keyhole, just in case. You could use Gunslinger's Trance, and I feel like this would be good if you were using an auto rifle. But the thing is, with a hand cannon, you don't really need that increased stability. And the reason I do use Chain of Woe is because even if you don't stack it into ×2 or ×3, even if it's only like ×1 for Chain of Woe, that increased reload speed still helps you out a little bit. That's my Gunslinger, that's my main subclass. Obviously here, the Blade Dancer, if I use that, I'll sometimes switch over to Lucky Raspberry, giving me that Arc Bolt off of spawn. Again, Arc Bolt Grenade, Blink, you have to use it, it's so good. Razor's Edge, everything else in this tier is pretty average. Fast Twitch, giving you that extra lunge when it takes like 2 seconds to recharge. Again, going for max armor on my my abilities here. Quick Draw, really good, coming out of Blink, you have your weapons immediately as it says. And then here, I don't think there's any reason to use anything other than Hungering Blade, giving you that extra health after you get a kill with Arc Blade or Blink Strike. Very good in keeping you alive and making your super actually worthwhile. So that is my PvP loadout for my my Hunter. Might do Warlock, might do Titan, depends whether you guys like the idea of this video. And that's everything I will ever use in PvP, until Taken King comes out and everything changes. Thanks for watching, guys. Speak to you later.